Gautreau and the Queen Street Band. How about Aaron Hughes on banjo? Awesome. Good morning. How is everyone this morning? Awesome. I only have one thing to tell you. I'm no longer doing announcements at the top of the service. Here's what I'm going to suggest to you. Keep an eye out for things, because we do have a lot of things that are happening all the time. But I'm done with doing announcements at the top of the service, so no more. I want to welcome you all to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. It is such a pleasure to have you here. And welcome to the celebration. Welcome to Sunday morning celebration. So let me ask you, first of all, what are we here to celebrate? This is a real question. Yeah. What are we here to celebrate?
My birthday.
Is it your birthday today? Happy birthday. We are here to celebrate the birth inherent in all people, the birth of spirit that is constantly happening by means of each and every one of us in every single moment. That is what we are here to celebrate. And so it is a pleasure, absolute pleasure, to be here and have you all join your consciousness within this one collective consciousness that we're creating right in this place. And it is transmitting itself out into the world, and we're creating a better world with our own two hands. So let's take a look at the back of our songbook and talk about. Let's read together the Declaration of Principles to start today, recognizing that as you read this, you're stating a belief. Check in with yourself. Is this what you believe? Let's read this together. I believe in one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe this one manifests itself in and through all creation. I believe in the individualization of the spirit, and that all people are individualizations of the one spirit. I believe that heaven is within, to the degree that we become conscious of it. I believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. I believe in the eternality, immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. Take a breath. Right where you are, God is. Right where you are a perfect point of creation. And creation is happening by means of you in all things, in every way. Everything you experience is creation, and you're in charge. I'm going to invite to the lectern our practitioner of the day, Helen Below, to lead us in a little bit of inspiration. Helen Below.
Hello. So, at the women's group last Tuesday, I had read from a page, it's right thought will always externalize itself. And then we got to the last paragraph, and we all kind of stopped, took a breath after I read it, went, wow, that's really, really cool. So I thought I would read this last paragraph this morning. You must know that right thought will always find an objective form and will always externalize itself. You must believe the will of God is always towards creation. You must believe the will of God is always towards goodness, truth, and beauty. Goodness, truth, and beauty cannot be reversed because they have no opposites. But your knowledge of the truth can reverse every so-called evil. Ooh, isn't that cool? Because we got to this thing of there is no antidote for goodness, truth, and beauty, because that is God expressing, and God is infinite and can never be divided against itself. So goodness, truth, and beauty is the essence of who we are, and is always expressing. So the affirmation that I have for you is, I live in the goodness, truth, and beauty of the divine. This is who I am. So I'll ask you to repeat it with me. I live in the goodness, truth, and beauty of the divine. This is who I am. Woohoo! I'll get you to repeat it one more time because it's so good. I live in the goodness, truth, and beauty of the divine. This is who I am. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Helen. This is who I am. This is who you are. This is who each and every one of us is always, always being and becoming more and more in every moment. So, if you would like to join in with the next song, it's How Could Anyone on page 3.
Kind of fitting.
There are no mistakes, Helen.
There are no mistakes.
Bang on.
Everything always works perfectly. So as we step into this next expression of spirit by means of the service, recognizing that there is no opposite to goodness, truth, and beauty. Really hear that. There is no opposite to goodness, truth, and beauty. It is only an erroneous thought to think that we step into something else. That's it. The inherent nature of the divine, which is what we all are, is goodness, truth, and beauty. Don't allow anyone ever to tell you that there is anything other than that. That's the truth. So I invite you to take a breath and simply allow this moment of resonance. Just allow it. There's nothing you need to do except simply be.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
In this moment, right here, right now, I step into the divine that is everywhere present, the divine that is truth, is beauty, is goodness, is oneness, that is this incredible spirit, that is life expressing in each and every moment. And I embody this truth, this beauty, this goodness that is mine to live, mine to express, mine to give to the world. Knowing that as I do so, as each one of us do so, we create something that is really, really special in this world. We create an opportunity for other people to see, to know, and to also experience the truth, the goodness, the beauty, the divinity within themselves. This is what we do when we come together as this community. When we embody and we live from this place. There is no antidote to this. There's only this one way to be. And it is not negotiable. And so right here, right now, as I speak these words, I declare that this is the truth. That this is God expressing through each one of us. For we are all beautiful expressions of God. And I declare that we all have the power within us to step out into our lives, seeing only goodness, truth, and beauty. For this is all there is. This is the expression of God in action in each and every moment. And for this knowing, I am truly grateful. I declare these words as done as I release these words to the Eternal One, knowing that all is in divine order. All is truth, goodness, and beauty. I let it go and I let it be so. And together we say, and so it is.
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. How deeply you're connected to my soul. How deeply you're connected to my soul.
Thank you so much, Helen. It was beautiful. I will tell you that if you want to get more of that, you will have your opportunity next week. I'm going to be, so here's an announcement. I'm actually going to be in Kamloops next week for the Canadian New Thought Conference, so I will not be here next Sunday, but your guest speaker is going to be Helen Below. So I encourage you, yes. I encourage you to all be here and bring your friends, because she has wisdom like you wouldn't believe, and it's going to be exquisite, I know. I'm going to try to make sure that I'm watching online if I have the opportunity. So, all right, what's that?
You just have to get up early.
Well, I may be in a session.
You're 3 hours ahead.
I know, but I still may be in a session at 8 o'clock in the morning. You never know. I don't know what they have planned for me. I might be in service. I don't know. It's all good. Anyway, here's what I do know. I will at some point watch, because I am fed by Helen Below. I am spiritually nourished by Helen Below. So another form of spiritual nourishment that I am so keen on expanding within our center is our music. And today, to share with us a wonderful song called Law of Attraction, here is Pierre Gautreau and the Queen Street Band.
Well, there's gonna be a change a-coming. I can feel it in the core of my soul, percolating, anticipating for when more people learn the secret of the soul. Well, it might take a while, it might come on strong. When people start living now and not by what has gone on. The fountain of youth, the holy grail, your pot of gold has always been there waiting for you to behold. For you to behold. So what kind of play are you gonna bring? A comedy, a tragedy? It doesn't matter, 'cause you win. The universe won't say no. The universe won't say no. The universe won't say no. 'Cause you're always in control of the show. sending you back the same reaction. Law of attraction keeps sending you back the same reaction. Yes, I know what you put out is what you get. So if it ain't working for you, you might want to do a little internal check. But if it's peace, love, and joy that you feel, you manifested a heaven that's real. The universe won't say no. The universe won't say no. The universe won't say no. 'Cause you're always in control of the show. Always in control of the show. Law of attraction keeps sending you back the same reaction. Law of attraction keeps sending you back the same reaction. Keeps sending you back the same reaction.
Our band gets better and better all the time. All the time. So, I'm stealing these because, as typically happens, something hits me in the middle of the song. What was that? So this is what hit me. So what kind of play are you going to bring? Comedy, tragedy, it doesn't matter because you win. Doesn't matter because you win. What kind of play are you going to bring? Maybe it hit me because, you know, I do come from the world of theater. I was a theater actor for 25 years and still get up on stage every week. The truth is, this is not acting. And the best acting is never acting. The best acting is being, which is really what I want to talk about today. Being, the concept of being. Not doing, but being. Concept of always stepping into that place of beingness. Because you are nothing if not being at all times. There is no separation between God and man. There is no opposite. There is no opposite of God. Now, you may have been brought up in a philosophy that says, there's God and then there's the devil. There is no such thing. There's God, and then there's this being called Satan, who was an angel who fell, and, you know. No such thing. Doesn't exist. You know what Satan is? I think I've said this in service before. Seeing all things as negative. That's Satan. Seeing all things as negative. Where do you fit in this paradigm? Do you approach life from the optimistic viewpoint where things are positive, or do you approach life from the seeing all things as negative viewpoint? Are you somewhere in the middle? I think a lot of us tend to be somewhere in the middle of that paradigm. And we're kind of in this constant shift. I know Tony's going crazy because I keep doing this. I dare you to keep up with me, Tony. We're somewhere in the middle. A lot of us are somewhere in the middle. But which side do you want to start tipping the scales towards? Because once you tip the scale towards seeing all things as grand. Say tag. When you start tipping the scales in the direction of goodness, of light, of beauty, of truth only, that these are the only things that you allow yourself to perceive and see in the world, regardless of what the circumstances look like, because the circumstances are an erroneous idea sometimes that show up in the world of form, but it comes up because we see them in a specific way. This is, this entire philosophy. Again, I'm going to go to this idea that we tend to become demonstration junkies because we want to change the one thing. We think that one thing is going to fix the world. It's going to fix our entire life if we just get this one thing and figure that out. But then that does not tip the scales permanently. What tips the scales permanently is changing your tendency in thought. This is really where I've come to so deeply, and that's why I keep harping on it every week. You must change the tendency of your thinking. And that's what spiritual practice is. That's why I am so passionate about teaching class. It is why I'm so passionate about bringing this concept to Sunday service. Because I changed my own life by changing the tendency of my thought. It used to be that I would approach things in life looking for what's the trick here? What could possibly go wrong? Well, if you're looking for what could possibly go wrong, you're going to create that which will go wrong. If you're trusting, and this is the place, this is going to that place of faith. This is why we can kind of go into this idea that we are a religion, because, religion has such a bad rap as a word. But this is why we are a religion, because it is about a foundation of faith that is unshakable, that all things are good. I need your book, because I need her book, because I need to go back to, I let the Spirit move me. I haven't even gotten to my notes yet. Yeah, I live in the goodness, truth, and beauty of the divine. When we speak these affirmations, and I'll tell you, I put on Facebook the affirmations that the practitioner bring every week. If you're on Facebook, please like us. Please like us. You will get little hints and little reminders throughout the week. The one thing I love, I did this kind of chalkboard graphic, right? And I put the practitioners' affirmations that they bring to service every week, and I post them on Facebook every single week. And it is such a great reminder for me. I usually try and make sure it happens on Tuesdays. Sometimes it happens on Wednesdays. But it is such a great reminder to me, and I can carry that with me throughout the week. Here's the thing. If you just say the affirmation here on a Sunday morning and you embody it in that moment, great. But what are you taking with you? What are you taking with you? Are you truly taking with you that I live in the goodness, truth, and beauty of the divine? That's what I am. Or are you saying it? Oh, it's so nice. The practitioner is now saying, I live in the truth. I live in the goodness, truth, and beauty of the divine. That's what I am. And I really believe that right in this moment. And then you walk out the door and you're like, wow, life sucks. I know nobody does that. How could you possibly after walking out of here? But even given that, if you walk out of here and you're feeling really good and you've been spiritually nourished and you're so on a high, and then you walk down the street and 10 minutes later, 2 hours later, 10 hours later, your mind goes back into an old habitual thought of seeing all things as negative, what are you creating? You're creating Satan. Ernest Holmes writes this. I'm now getting to my notes. Yay. The truth is, okay, so I'm going to tell you a quick story. It is quick. It is really quick. More and more, what I've learned throughout my ministry here at this center as a spiritual director is to rely less on that and to rely more on that. Because no matter what I write at 7 o'clock on a Sunday morning doesn't really matter. What is coming through me in this moment? Because that's what Spirit is intuiting through me. Now, and you all have this capacity. I don't want to say, I say Spirit intuits through me. Spirit intuits through all of you. I learned this lesson by a brilliant mentor named James Mellon. Right? I talk about him all the time. When we were in ministerial class, he shared with us that one day he was really behind schedule and he's trying to scramble, get everything together for service. And he goes and he prints out his talk and he puts it on the podium, and then he goes and he's helping like with the technical elements of the service, and he's trying to, kind of like me, have his fingers in everything. Because he and I are peas in a pod. We are such control freaks. And he finishes, the service starts, and he does, yeah, we're going to, sing, and we're going to do all the things just like I do. And then he gets up to give his talk, and he looks down, and it's the talk he gave last week. So here he is in front of an entire congregation, looking at the notes he had prepared for the service the week prior, a talk he's already given. And in that moment, he realized, I don't need that. And it's a great lesson. How much do we rely on what we have prepared rather than trusting what shows up is perfect? Ernest Holmes writes this: common sense and science must be applied to religious and spiritual things as to everything else. For we can no longer repeat, "Thus saith the Lord," because of certain proclamations of some early prophets. Now, Ernest Holmes was one who fully believed that the man, Jesus, was the wisest person who ever walked the face of the planet, who had such a deep commitment, conviction, and connection to the divine that he could not help but heal anyone who came into his presence. This is what Ernest Holmes teaches. And yet here, he is making a claim for each and every one of us that we can move beyond that, because that's also what the man Jesus said. We should all be moving beyond that. We are all our own prophets in life. We must approach this philosophy, we must approach this thinking with common sense, and we call it the science of mind. The book is called The Science of Mind because we really do apply scientific principles to the way we think. If you change the tendency of your thought, your experience shows up. It is a provable thing. That's why we call it the science of mind. Common sense. There's some tricky words.
Not so common anymore.
It isn't. Common sense. What is your common sense? Because common sense differs for every single person. What may be common sense to me is not common sense to you. Now, there are going to be places where we do overlap, and common sense is common sense for a majority of the people. What is common sense to you? Because whatever is your common sense will show up in your experience. He's also saying within this quote, I'm going to read it again. Common sense and science must be applied to religious and spiritual things as to everything else. For we can no longer repeat, "Thus saith the Lord." That's a quote. We can no longer repeat that, right? Because and there are still philosophies that do this. The Lord says it, so it must be so. Putting the onus on something outside of the self. We can no longer repeat, "Thus saith the Lord," because of certain proclamations of some early prophets. He's also saying here, we cannot afford to move backwards. Life only moves forward. Life only moves forward. I love that you hit it on the nail in your meditation this morning. Okay, so another pitch. You should all be here for meditation. Just saying. When I don't even know if you realized you said it, talking about the forward momentum of Spirit, and it's constantly going forward, moving forward, moving forward, moving forward. It can do nothing but. We cannot stop it no matter how hard we try. Life is always in a forward progressive movement. That's called evolution. Evolution is happening through us, by means of us, in every single experience we have. Now, there are too many people, I believe, this is my personal belief, because I'm starting to be very specific about declaring what I do recognize as my own personal belief, because you can agree with it or not. My personal belief is that far too many people in our world want to sit in the comfort, what they feel is the comfort of the past. The past can feel comfortable. It only feels comfortable because it's what we've become accustomed to. And what we've become accustomed to, we tend to think frequently. There's the tendency of thought. And so we create more and more and more of past circumstances in our present experience. But it is a perception. The comfort of the past is only a perception. It only exists because we've decided that that feels comfortable. Now, this week in boot camp, in mental muscle, it's so funny, I still call it boot camp because it was originally called spiritual boot camp. James changed the name. But in boot camp, it is Boundaries and Priorities Week. We're just at the tail end of Boundaries and Priorities Week. And it really is about, what are your comfort zones? What have you established in your life as the boundary? And you will not pass that. Here's what's going to happen when you do that. You will never grow from that place. If you want to truly grow spiritually, step beyond your comfort zone. Step outside of what you have decided is comfortable, because it is all based on ideas from the past. It can't not be. If you're stepping forward with pure faith, you will always be held in the hands of grace. Therefore, the comfort zone, when you go past that line, it is not a scary place to be. We set up comfort zones and boundaries out of fear because we're afraid of what lies on the other side of that line. If you can approach your boundaries, if you can approach your comfort zones in full faith that you are always supported by the divine, and I'm not talking about the divine outside of the self, I'm saying from that inherent knower within you, you are always supported by that inherent knower within you. You have the capacity to overcome any erroneous thought that shows up as an erroneous situation. All life can change for the better. And you, individually, are the point where that change begins. Now, we live in, I'm not affirming this, but it has been the experience. It's not my experience, I will tell you. It's really not my experience. But we live in what many people perceive as scary times. Why do we live in scary times? Because we have all decided that there is something to fear. Now, not people in this room, obviously, because we're all enlightened, right? But there is a collective conscious idea out there that the world is a place to be feared. That collective conscious idea is why the world shows up as a place to fear. It is possible. It is possible to change the collective thought for the entire world. And this is the point. You individually are the point where that change begins. Now, does it happen in one fell swoop? It's like, okay, let's all of us right now, close your eyes, close your eyes. Here we go, close your eyes. The world is only good. This is the thought. Just let that thought resonate with you right now. The world is only good. And breathe into that. Now, open your eyes. Right in this moment, in this room, the world is only good. Now, How many of you are going to walk out of this room, see the news, see people on the streets who may be living their lives in fear, and start to change your concept of the world because of what you see out there? When we reach that tipping point, see, there's the balance. When we reach that tipping point where the majority of thought of the collective is that the world is good, the world is safe, the world is only an experience of beauty, truth, and goodness, that's the one fell swoop. That's when the change happens universally, really. I like to consider that the tipping point of consciousness. There's the tipping point of consciousness. Right now, we're weighted on the fear side. But it is up to each and every one of us individually to take responsibility for ourselves to not allow our thought to be weighted on the fear side. It is up to each and every one of us to only entertain goodness, truth, and beauty. So, now you know. I hear you laughing, Tony. Now you know, life is crummy, and now you know. It's a song from a musical. That's why Tony's laughing. Now you know. You have the knowledge, you have the intellectual understanding that this is what we teach. You have the intellectual idea. Yes? Yes. All right. What is it going to take to embody that idea? Because you can know intellectually all you want. It is not until you embody the idea that you truly change your own experience. And by changing your own experience, you change the experience of every single person around you. And then every single person around you who has changed their experience because of you, the point at which consciousness is moving forward out of fear, those people then affect the people around them. And it grows exponentially until we have changed the entire world. So now you know. What are you going to do about it? We're going to change the entire world. Are you on board with that idea?
Yes.
We're the point at which change happens. I cannot express that deeply enough. We are the point at which change happens. Now, this philosophy is about the embodiment of an idea. And when you embody the idea, what shows up in form has to be in support of that idea which you have embodied. Now, it is about the beingness of spirit. We are all being spirit. Even if the circumstances don't seem to support that, it's still spirit. But in the being, we must also be doing. It's why this is important to me that we as a community in this center take our experience and move it out into the world. Now, we had a great start yesterday. Let me tell you, we had a great start yesterday. The yard sale for the cure was an awesome, awesome day, wasn't it? It was an awesome day. And we supported ourselves. We supported the community. We are able to, I want to let everybody know, we took it, and I have now balanced it out. We were $18.15 shy of $1,000 that we pulled in from the yard sale. So I've donated $18.50 so that we can make it an even $1,000. That means $500 is going to breast cancer research. Yes. $500 is going, we've directed it to support our youth program here. All right. That is stepping into the world and doing based on the concept of being, first and foremost. If we did not approach that experience with the concept that we are the point at which life changes, it would not have been the success that it was. Our collective idea, and actually, I'm going to suggest that we all really, really maintain the collective idea that there is a cure for cancer. There is. Why have we not found it yet? Why is it not taken over the world, what has been found? Well, we can go into, now here's the thing. You're all looking for the excuses. You notice how it's so quick, and it is so insidious what your mind can do. Right? We're all looking for the excuses as to why cancer has not been cured yet. Of course, I did ask the question in a specific way, right? Our experience going out there is maintaining the collective consciousness within our community that cancer is curable. And really, since there is no time in the mind of God, cancer is cured now. And we're just supporting that showing up in form, in action, in our experience. As we take action in life, in anything, we are the point at which the life we seek is showing up. We had to approach that idea in mind first, by embodying the idea that we make a difference, that we make change. As we embody, we are naturally led to the place of action. We are naturally led to the place of doing. Our collective idea in the cure, and there's only one cure for cancer. Do you know what that is? Anyone who's been in class?
Consciousness.
Consciousness. Good on you, Carmen.
Thank you. Good student.
She's a very good student. There is only one cure for cancer. There's only one cure for everything. Every ill, every concept of an erroneous idea that we embody, there's only one thing that changes it: consciousness. Now, people will take this and they'll feel like, oh my God, it's such a big idea. Consciousness changes everything? Yes, well, consciousness created, so consciousness changes it. It is a revealing of the divine within. It is understanding that when we see the cancer, it is God too. That has been born from an erroneous idea. That's consciousness. You change the consciousness, that has to change. So our collective idea in a cure for cancer is supported by our taking action in life, thereby changing our consciousness. And our action, our support for the cure, a cure, is the catalyst for the discovery of the next thing, which then does bring it into our experience. This is why we pray. There's only one purpose for prayer. There's only one purpose for prayer. Prayer is never, ever, ever, ever about changing the thing out there. When we pray to change our mind. That's it. It's one of the most important things that practitioners learn in their study. The only thing we change is our own mind. And by changing our own mind, we change the experience of the universe. We change our experience of our very small universe sometimes. We make our universe very small. By changing my mind, I change my experience of this room. Prayer alone, however, doesn't do anything. So we pray to change our minds. The prayer alone does not do anything. Because here's what happens. We can pray and we can pray and we can pray. But if the prayer does not actually impel you to action, then you've actually not embodied the prayer. You have not actually changed your mind. Prayer is more than words. Prayer is the embodiment of the idea of what you choose to experience in life. the concept that it's one of those jargony things when we talk about prayer, treatment, whatever you want to call it. Treat and move your feet, we say within this philosophy. And it used to bother me, that concept of treat and move your feet, because it seemed to support this idea of, okay, I'm going to pray, and now I'm going to step away from the prayer, and I'm going to find the thing in action, which is now going to actually do the work. But I forget that the prayer is actually the thing that does the work. So I do think that treat and move your feet is sort of an odd idea. So what I have started to say, what I have started in my own experience is to say, when I treat, I am impelled to move my feet. Because the movement in form must be born of the new conscious idea which has been embodied. If your prayer does not impel you into the action in form, keep praying. Keep praying. I wrote down here, re-pray. It also is an indication. How do you know your prayer is effective? Because this is something that Ernest Holmes is very clear about. How do you know that your prayer is effective? It shows up in the world of form. But it's not because I prayed and then I went over here and now I'm doing something and I have this erroneous idea that it shows up. No, it is because the prayer actually created something new. So, when the demonstration, we call it a demonstration, when the thing you are praying for shows up, you know your prayer has been effective. So, now you know. What are you going to do about it? When you pray, I'm going to ask you, so when you pray, do you potentially still have a sense that you are praying to something outside of the self? Just check in with yourself. It's a rhetorical question. I don't need to see any hands. Do you potentially still have that sense? Even if it's somewhere on the scale of I pray to something or I pray as something. You may be somewhere in the middle. Start to check in. Tip the scales to the understanding that when you pray, you are praying as God, not to God. Praying in confidence. Praying in confidence from a consciousness of unity, that there is no separation between the divine spirit and the self. It's so funny, because even in my own mind I went, and even just talking about it as the divine spirit and the self makes a separation. There's no way we can actually talk about it. I can say the divine spirit as the self. Praying from the confidence of the consciousness of the divine spirit as the self will work wonders in your life. There is no separation. You do not pray to God. You pray as God. Now you know. Now you know. What will you do and who will you be with that knowledge? Release yourself from the past. Release yourself from any idea that there is any separation between you and God. Release yourself from any erroneous idea of what the word God may have meant to you at one time. It's just a word. So many of us come to this philosophy with so much weight around that word, God. And I'll say it. I will say it. God, 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 God. Because how many of you are going, oh my God, I wish you would stop saying that? Recognize that that's what you bring to the party. I have no issue around the word God, because I recognize it as who and what I am. Not that I am the allness of God, let's be very clear, but but I am an individualized expression of the divine spirit. I am that I am. That's what that means. I am that I am. As you release yourself from this past idea, as you release yourself from any past idea, as you unlimit yourself, you will experience a greater expression and a grander expression of life. It is about turning your viewpoint around from that which is seeing all things as negative to trusting in faith that God is who and what you are, and everything shows up according to your consciousness. There is no one. I can't do this for you. You can come and listen to me every Sunday. It's not going to change a darn thing until you make the decision to change your own thinking. And I'm grateful that you all show up on a Sunday. I really am. And I trust. I really do approach this entire experience of Sunday service in full trust that I, as an individualized expression of the divine, am making a change because I have changed my consciousness. I am always in the state of changing my consciousness. I am always in the state of becoming a greater expression of the divine in everything I do. And I trust and know that that resonates with every single one of you, which is why you keep showing up and people keep logging in online and people keep recognizing that they are the ones who are going to make the change in this world. I cannot change you. Only you can change you. So now you know. What are you going to do about it? Because here's what, I think it was on Oprah. Oh, I don't want to bring that up. It was, okay. So there was a thing that Oprah showed, right, on her show, and it was a fairly gruesome kind of thing that she showed. And she turned to her audience after showing this clip, and she said, now you know. And you can't not know. You can never not know what you know. And once it shows up, once you know the truth with a capital T, you can never go back. So why do you go back when you do go back? And I will tell you, I'm not going to exclude myself from this concept, from this paradigm, because there are occasions in my life where I backtrack a little bit and I have to catch myself in those moments and say, no, I know better. Now I know. What am I going to do with the knowledge that I have? That's why it's spiritual practice. And it is a lifelong journey. It is a lifelong experience. So make the new choice right in this moment that you know and that you know that you know. It's the truth. Now you know. You know that life is unlimited. You know that love is unlimited. You know that peace is unlimited. You know that joy is unlimited. You know that beauty is unlimited. You know that wisdom is unlimited. Light is unlimited. Now you know. Your idea, your individualized idea, adds to the collective consciousness and informs all of humanity. So, if we are truly to be the point at which change happens, we must be always, always, always on top of what we know. And always allowing only that which we know to be the embodiment of our experience in life. Because as you change your life, you change the lives of those around you. You are that powerful. You are that powerful. Now you know. So today, I leave you with this. Now you know. Now you know. Now you know. I dare you to go out and be. Namaste. Thank you. I am so grateful to every single one of you. I'm grateful for you showing up. I am grateful for you bringing your conscious ideas to the fold. I am grateful for every single person and the support that you give this center in your time, your talent, and your treasure. And this is the time now where we honor the givingness of spirit by giving in a financial way to the center. So whatever you have, your investment, your contribution, your tithe, however you choose to express in money a conscious commitment to this center, I invite you to hold what it is you give in your hand. You can hold it to your heart. And let's share these words of divine givingness, which are on the back of your songbook. I know that God is the source of all supply, and that money is God in action. I know that my good is here now. I claim an abundance of money to spare and share. I know that true prosperity includes perfect health, perfect wealth, and perfect happiness. I bless all that I have now, and I bless the increase. I give thanks for this good. I know that my gift today goes forward to heal and bless. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center and know that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And it does. Let's sing God is My Source, which is on page 5 of your songbooks. And please stand up, dance, celebrate life, celebrate the givingness of spirit.
1, 2, 3. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything that I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything that I need. Joy is my source, joy is my power, joy gives me everything that I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything that I need. Yeah. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything that I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything that I need. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything that I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything that I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything that I need. We're going, keep going, go. I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
Oh, I love it. Helen Below is going to do a blessing over our offering.
So affirming and acknowledging right here, right now, that God is our source of our substance, our supply, and that this abundance that comes to us today is used by the board and this community respectfully, in honor and in gratitude, so that we are creating, expanding, and evolving in this community. Thank you for this giving today. I release, I let go, and I know that this currency flows into the universe, creating more and more goodness, truth, and beauty. I let it go, I let it be so, and together we say, and so it is.
Thank you very much, Helen. I want to thank everyone who made today's service possible. Christina, Gail, Judy, Margaret Ann. Lorna is in the bookstore today. I want to thank Helen, our practitioner, for your brilliance and consciousness. Jim and Susan, our board members on duty today, thank you so much for your service. In the booth, Carmen. And with Carmen on the webcast is Tony. Yay! Down with the dynamic kids today, Mahala and Charose. I thank them for their service. I want to thank Pierre Gautreau and the entire band, the Queen Street Band. And I want to thank... That's the new name.
The entire band.
The entire band.
Yes.
The Queen Street Band. That we decided on the Queen Street Band.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Because then I can have a new headliner every week. It's Stephen Belair and the Queen Street Band.
That's right.
All right. So, and I want to thank each and every one of you for bringing your consciousness to this space today and recognizing that you contribute to a collective idea that changes the entire universe. That's what I stand for in my ministry. And I'm so grateful to each and every one of you. So we're going to close out today with the song written by my friend Alex. It's on page 3. It's called Message. Alex Robert Holmes, who celebrated a birthday this week. He did indeed. So, it's a very fitting song. Now you know. Now you know. What are you going to do about it? So I invite you to simply relax into this moment and take a breath, and you can sing along if you want. Recognize that who you are is the point at which consciousness is creating abundantly and infinitely. Now that I know the truth, I can't go back to what I used to do. I can't pretend or ignore or go back to what I believed before. I can't live without your love. I can't live without your light. I can't live without your message. I can't live without your warmth. I can't live without your wisdom. I can't live without your message. Right here in this moment, and in every moment, I recognize and know that there is only one power. There is only one creative source. There is only one energy. It is infinite. It is omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent. I recognize and know that every single person here, every single person watching our webcast, every single person I encounter is a perfect, individualized expression of this energy. And each of us is using this energy for good. This creative source is always flowing through us, always pushing us in that direction of forward momentum, of deeper evolution. I stand firm in this knowing, and I stand firm in this truth, knowing that each and every one of us is creating lives that are fully joyful and abundant. Stepping into the next thing, always with that positive outlook, recognizing that God is beauty, truth, grace, wisdom, and it is always that which is unfolding in our experience. I accept this, and only this. I accept it in full recognition and gratitude of the divine and for the divine. I'm grateful for this community, and I'm grateful for the experience of the divine that constantly shows itself here in everything we do. So in joy, in gratitude, I simply release this word to a perfectly corresponding law, recognizing that my word spoken is done right here, right now. I let it be so, and together we say, and so it is. Now that I know I'm God, I can't hide behind this old facade. I can't lie to myself, for no, I'm not perfect health. I can't live without your love. I can't live without your light. I can't live without your message. I can't live without your warmth. I can't live without your wisdom. I can't live without your message. I can't live without your message. Now that I know the truth, I can't go back to what I used to do. And so it is. So let's get up and celebrate this with Peace Like a River on page 25.
Nope, wait for Mr. B's boy.
I got the peace like a river. I got peace like a river. I got the peace like a river in my soul. I got the peace like a river. I got peace like a river. I got a peace like a river in my soul. I got the joy like a fountain. I got the joy like a fountain. I got the joy like a fountain in my soul. I got the joy like a fountain. I got the joy like a fountain. I got the joy like a fountain in my soul. Love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean in my soul. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean in my soul. Nice and quiet, everybody. I got peace like a river. Ooh, I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul. I got peace like a river. Ooh, I got peace like a river. I got a peace like a river in my soul. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river. I got a peace. I got peace like a river in my soul. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul.